Okay, so we are going to decorate our Sally cookie. So we're going to take our black icing and we are going to outline her face. So what we're doing now is making her little bang line, and then we're going to make a circle. And I'm not sure how this circle was so perfect because I swear that's never happened before in my life. So if yours doesn't look like that, I'm not going to judge you. And you just touch down to end that little segment. We're going to add 2 little lines for her neck. Alright, now we're going to make her little eye sockets because we don't want her eyeballs to sit on top of the cookie and make her look like she has bug eyes. So we're going to make 2 almond shapes. And if you want to practice this on like a piece of paper first, you can totally do that. Sorry, my hand's in the way. But there's your 2 almond shapes for her eyes. Then we're going to just go ahead and outline the rest of the cookie for her hair. I find that when we outline with black, it makes it look more cartoony because, you know, most cartoons are outlined in black. So there you go. Okay, we're going to start filling in her skin. So we're going to carefully fill in her little neck and smooth that down. And then we're going to fill in her face. And if your icing is not coming out like smoothly, or it's coming out like in a tiny little string, you just need to snip your icing bag a little bit bigger, just a tiny bit, because if you cut it too big, there's no going back. So it's a little tip. There you go. So we're going to fill in the rest of her face just like that, and then you're going to take your toothpick and using a tiny little circular motions, you're going to smooth out the icing and make sure that it's touching the little boundaries, the little black boundaries, so there's not any holes where you can see the cookie coming through. Okay, so we're going to add a little tiny line for her nose with your black, and then we're going to add a little black smile. And we're going to do this while that blue is wet so that it will sink down. It's called the wet on wet technique. And we're going to draw her little scar. What are those stitches? Stitch lines? There you go. For her mouth. And then we'll put her lips on later. Okay. So now that we've let that crust for a few minutes, we're going to go in and add her eyes. So we're going to take our white and fill in our little almond eye holes until they're nice and filled. And you can use your bag, the tip of the bag, to smooth out your icing if you don't want to use your toothpick. And here's a great shot of my hand. Okay, so there you go. The eyeballs are now filled in, and then we're going to take our black and add her little pupil in the middle, also while it's wet, so that her eye is not poking up really creepily. Okay, now we're going to take our black and we're going to outline the top of her eye, just like that, like you would put on makeup. And then we're going to give her a few lashes so she looks pretty. Just like that. It doesn't matter how many you do, how many you want, however long you want them to be. And then you're going to do the other eye. Just like you did the first one. Okay. So there she is, all eyelined and everything. Okay, so now we're going to take our orange and we're going to give her some lips. So how you're going to do this is you make one little, kind of like a half heart almost, like the top of a heart. And then a little loop for the bottom. So it does look like a heart, basically. So her little heart lips, and then we're going to fill in her hair. So you're just going to take your orange and fill in pretty much the rest of the cookie so that she's got hair. Just keep filling in to where the cookie's covered, but it's not like leaking over the black. But if it does, that's okay. You can clean it up afterwards when it starts to crust just a little bit. You can take your toothpick and clean up the edges so it's nice and clean. So now that you've got her all filled in, you're going to take your toothpick and clean up all the little blank areas and pop any air bubbles that you see, and just make sure that there's no gaps between the face and the hair. You want to make sure it's all filled in really pretty. So just keep swirling. Okay, so now we are going to add her little scar stitches. I don't know why I keep saying scar, but it's, I guess, stitches. So you can get a little creative with the stitches wherever you want them to be. And there you go. There's your Sally cookie, and put her some little lines under her eyes just to make her a little more animated. Maybe a little tired looking, I don't know. But there she is. She's Sally. Good job.